In this tutorial video, we're going to experiment with the blend options. I encourage you, after doing these 4 different simple examples, to try your own and see the things that you can create with this awesome blend option in Illustrator. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a spiral. And I'm going to, for now, put a stroke color on it. But when you want it to follow a path, the blend, it needs to not have any color on that particular path. But this is just so we can line our different circles up. So once that is created, go ahead and grab your ellipse tool and then choose whatever color and size you want. And you're going to put one at the very start. And I didn't want it to be a stroke. So I'll go ahead and put that one down. And then grab the ellipse tool one more time and add it to the end of the path here. So what we're wanting to happen is we want to make all different sizes of circles that follow this path, and eventually they gradually get down to this size, and they also continuously change color until they go from pink to green. So we need to take the path color off. So go ahead and remove that stroke color. Highlight all of the 3 objects, the path and the starting and beginning object. And then we can go to Object, Blend, Blend Options. So once you have the blend options, you can choose specified steps and then choose Align to Path. You can choose however many steps you want. It depends on how tight your spiral is or how big your objects are. But when we click OK, we can then go to Object, Blend, Make, or Option Command B on a Mac, or Alt Control B on a PC. So we'll choose Make for this. Once you do that, you can go up to Object, Blend, and choose Blend Options. And you can choose, maybe you want 15 and hit Preview, or maybe you want 55, and then I just hit Tab to have that preview. So that's one way to make a blend. That saved us a lot of time and effort to create that spiral. So let's go ahead and I'm going to put 40 for mine. Okay. There's also specified distance. So if I say I want everything to be 55 pixels away from each other, maybe 150 pixels away from each other, it's going to give exactly the same 150 pixels between each circle. All right, so let's see. One weird quirk is that it really depends on what order you create your objects in. So if I come over here and create a rectangle that's filled with white, no stroke, and let's say I want to make a fence. So I will create that rectangle here, bring up my pen tool option so that I can click to add a new anchor point, and then grab my direct selection tool to make the point of the fence. So then what I'm going to do is grab the black arrow tool or the selection tool and make the next one that's going to be a little bit taller, or I could even make it a little bit shorter. It's up to you. So I'll go ahead and go to this lasso tool, and I'm going to click and drag around the top 3 points so that with my direct selection tool, when I click and drag, all 3 points will drag at the same time, so it's easy to make that still proportional on top. Now, be careful that you don't do any of this leaning, so I'm going to go ahead and hold Shift, and there I have the first tall fence post. So you think, okay, I'm going to make my life easy, and Alt drag this one, and then Alt drag this one. Well, me too. So I'll go ahead and distribute all of those fence posts so they have even spacing between. Then we go to Object, Blend, Blend Options, and we don't want it to follow a path. We can just do Align to Page. And then specified steps, let's just put 4, and that'll put 4 posts, and maybe 3 will be better for this one. And when you click OK, you can also do, again, Option Command B or Alt Control B. And look how crazy it gets. It goes from this one to this one. From this one to this one, and then this one to this one, because they were like copies of each other. So it's kind of annoying in that regard. So what you have to do is click on this, Alt drag this, again lasso those top 3 points. Oops, make sure you get them all in there. Grab your direct selection tool, drag this down, until you see that intersection so that you're sure that they're even. And then again, Alt drag this one, lasso tool, direct selection tool, and raise it up until it intersects. Okay, so again, I always put the first and last where I want them to be, highlight all of them, and then distribute so that they have the even spacing. So now we should be able to do Option Command B and see that fence created. All right, so another cool example is to create text like retro 70s text. So I'll go ahead and create the small one first because again, it matters which one you create first. So I'll create this one with a yellow color, and then I'll Alt drag and create a much bigger one with a deeper red color. And it's a good idea to always keep a second version of this, and you'll see why in a second. So just select the first two, and then you're going to go up to Object, Blend, Options, and we can go ahead and choose Smooth Color for right now and click OK. So when I do the blend, you're going to see a smooth color from first to last. You can also, again, once it's created, you can go to Blend Options, and we can start playing with a couple of these options. So let's do 15 and preview. So that creates a really cool retro text effect. And then this is why you can't really see this one as well. So this is why I always keep a second copy, so I can make just a slightly darker version and put it right on top so that it's easier to see that top text in relation to all those ones that came behind it. Okay, so last thing is the blend helps you to create really, really good color. So I'm going to grab my oval tool, and I want to bring up the Pathfinder menu, which is right here. All right, so for this particular object, we're going to create an egg. So I want to make it sort of a little bit off-white, just a little bit. Maybe get down here to where it's a little bit more tan. Okay, so we're going to first create the oval, and that's not, I mean, it's not a bad egg, but it doesn't really look natural. So what we're going to do for this is grab the direct selection tool, come down to this bottom anchor point, and pull our handle out just a little bit. So we get sort of that flatter base. Then we're going to go to the sides, and we're going to just adjust it just slightly so that it goes in on the top and bulges out on the bottom. So same thing on the other side. And last but not least, we're going to make this a little pointier by dragging each of these handles in so we get a nice egg shape. Okay, so once we have that nice egg shape, we want to keep that, but we want to do some spots or highlights. So I'm going to go ahead and Alt drag to create a second copy. And with that second copy, I want to create a different shade that covers this part of the egg. So I want to get rid of this bottom piece. The best way to do this is to grab another ellipse or circle tool, and I didn't want to change the color of that one, and just draw out a new shape that sort of creates or cuts off where you want it to cut off. So I think I like that, and I'm going to rotate it a little bit. And again, just so you can see, there's that pink. So highlighting both of them, then on the Pathfinder tool, we can say we want to do intersect, and it's going to give us a perfect shape that fits on top of this one, but allows us to create different highlighting. So we still want to use, actually we'll use the eyedropper tool to sample that color, because then we can come back in here and pull it in about halfway to the white. And there we get a lighter shade of that original color. And then we'll grab the ellipse tool again. And I don't want to necessarily make this pure white, but pretty close to it. And I'm just going to do kind of a hot spot where the light's hitting it directly up here. All right, so once you've done this, you can highlight all three. And then you're going to want to go to Object, Blend, Options. And we're going to choose Smooth Color for right now. And do Object, Blend, Make. So that creates a really nice smooth transition of color that would take us forever to create with a gradient mesh. But with 3 different colored shapes, we can do that nice smooth color blend and create a good looking egg. So now that you know how to use the blend options, not blend mode, but the blend tools in Illustrator, try to come up with a few more and see the creative things that you can do with it.